Welcome. How to be present in this slice of life. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday for, what is it, mid-September. Can you believe it, guys? It's just absolutely flying. So I trust you're safe and well wherever you are. And it's going to be short and sweet tonight because I have something exciting to announce for you guys. So make sure you stay tuned in until the end. I will explain all about what is happening. But for now, I want to have a discussion around slice of life. You might have seen in my Linktree bio, I shared a video from my coach. Every coach needs a coach regarding this slice of life. Now, it's a really, really powerful message because when we are focused on the here and now and the slice of life that we're in, no matter how challenging it is, then we're not in depression. So we're not thinking about the past, or I don't like to say depression and anxiety because they are diagnosed medical terms, but when we're not thinking about the past, we're not having depressive thoughts. When we're not anticipating negativity about the future, we're not having anxious thoughts. So living in the present moment is how we're going to help with getting through this slice of life. Because how many of you have felt quite uptight or anxious or stressed out with the fear and the uncertainty that's going around? Give me a like or a love if you're feeling that. Like you're up one moment, you're down the next, you're inside out, you don't know what is going on. So it's really easy to future project and get caught up in the negativity and the drama of the world. I am absolutely guilty of it as well. I'm getting some likes and loves coming through. Thanks, guys. So what if you believed it actually to be true, that this was just simply a slice of life? Or what if you believed it to be true that everything was going to work out? Or perhaps, what if you actually believed it to be true that the only thing that you can control is your internal response to an external response that's happening somewhere else, whether it's in someone else or the media? I'll talk more about this in the coming weeks about internal versus external responses. So what if you actually believed it to be true that this slice of life is actually challenging you, encouraging you to step into your own growth and your own personal development? And I love this quote by my beautiful coach, Bev. You're either green, I don't know if she's borrowed it or not, but I've heard it through her. So you're either ripe and rotting or green and growing. You're either ripe and rotting or green and growing. So it's like, how can I step into my personal growth? How can I step into my personal development? What can I do right now? So for me, I have just invested with another beautiful embodiment coach, and I'm going to be doing some more around really getting into my body and doing a lot of embodiment work. So that is how I'm actually growing through this, because I'm so much in my head a lot of the time that I'm not in my body. So that's going to be where I'm putting my focus to really help through the challenging times. And it's life. It is a slice of life. And now some people have a lot more slices of life because, you know, think of your 80, 90, 100-year-olds. They've had lots of slices: depression, wars, global financial crisis, COVID. So slices of life are always going to come up. There's going to be exciting, celebratory slices, and there's going to be challenging slices. So let's think about, how can I learn? How can I grow in this slice of life? How can I get present? How can I come back to the now? How can I utilize mindfulness to focus on what is happening in my life right now, instead of, you know, being in the past and focusing on the negative, or being in the future and future pacing? And even if you're out there in a positive sense, we still need to come back to the present. But if you're particularly projecting fear, uncertainty about the future, that's going to create a lot of anxious thoughts. So I did share a little infographic about how you might be able to support yourself through this time. I just had stuff falling down in my office. Sorry, that scared me. So one thing you can actually do is, and there's about 6 different things that I put on there. But the real one that I want to touch on today is the ScreenZen app. So I sent a message out to my client saying I'm going to be on social media a lot less. So here's my number, get me on Voxer. So the ScreenZen app doesn't actually lock you out of, and this is not paid at all. I don't do any of that stuff. This is just like, I share what I love. And so the ScreenZen app has really helped me with being present and noticing when I'm mindlessly scrolling. Because one way we can get out of the present moment and we might be somewhere else is that we'll just flick open our phone. Anyone else guilty of this? You flick open your phone and then 15 minutes have gone and you're in the rabbit warren of looking at like TikToks about don't know what. It has happened to me like more times than not. It happens to me when I use this ScreenZen app, because I go in and I go to flick, like even just like walking down the stairs, walking to the kitchen, I'm flicking on my phone and I'm just going to Instagram or Facebook, and the ScreenZen pops up and is like, take a breath. Another way to come back to the present moment, the only one of the best ways to come back to the present moment, through the breath. And so then it tells me to take a breath, so it brings me into the present moment, and then asks me if I want to open it or not. So I found this has been really powerful because one, it's encouraging me to breathe more, focus on my breath, come into the now. And secondly, it has limited my social media use by about 50%, because it can be really easy to get down the rabbit warren of all the fear and uncertainty and this story and that story and this research when it comes to what's happening right now in the world. So that would be some of my big ones, but have a look at the infographic that I posted up yesterday about being present in this slice of life, because there's some tips there. And the reason we don't achieve our goals is because we don't schedule it in. We don't have accountability. So schedule it in, work out, when am I going to do this? How can I remind myself? I've got a client, beautiful client, who sets an alarm at 4 p.m. each day. And it's like, I notice I'm getting better at ... And it's a time for her to reflect. How's the day been? Have I been present? Have I let my emotions go wild? Okay, what can I do for the rest of the day? Because there's still 9 hours, 4 or 5 hours before I go to bed. So looking at how can I bring in reminders to remind me, because if we're doing one thing, then it can be hard to change these habits. So setting reminders till we make it a habit, I find, is really, really helpful. So there you have it, presence in this slice of life. There's going to be slice of lives. We either decide to be ripe and rotting or green and growing and step into our personal growth and development. And I have something so exciting for you guys that is coming next Wednesday in place of Wellness Wednesday, the 22nd of September. Instead of doing 5:30 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, I will be jumping on an exclusive Facebook group page, going live for my complimentary masterclass called Understanding Your Hormones. I have had so many women reach out to me saying, I feel shit, I feel crappy, I feel crazy, even though my blood tests say that I'm fine, all my levels are fine. We're going to look at like what levels are actually optimal, particularly in regards to your thyroid, because that's one of the master glands that helps support all of the hormones. I had a client yesterday send me through her bloods, and for years and years, and this is not dissing anyone. There's different ways of training and looking at things. However, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But if it is, and you're feeling like shit, and you're feeling like there is something happening because you've been struggling to get energy, you've been anemic, you've been having hormonal issues, you've got mood issues, then there's probably something going on 9 times out of 10. So we had a look at these bloods and I said, yeah, look, actually there is something going on. And so she's so excited because she's empowered, because there is a reason to her feeling this way. And so we're going to start working on that. Regardless of what the bloods say, though, we can always do things, diet and lifestyle, to support our hormone health. But that's just a really great story to reiterate that. So I'm going to share some really simple diet and lifestyle strategies of how you can support your hormones, like walk away with them, from the webinar next Wednesday night. And the reason I'm doing this is because up until even last year, I had struggled to find out what was happening in my body, struggled to find out what was happening with my hormones. I was feeling crap. I couldn't get out of bed. I thought I was going crazy. And I now have the understanding, the research, the study to really help you guys on a deeper level and get into this, because I have so many people contact me saying, what should this be? What should this level be? So I'm going to get us all together. So share this with any friends that are like, oh yeah, my thyroid test, my iron, my vitamin D is fine. Get them together, share this with them. There's a link in the Linktree bio, which has a link to sign up for the webinar. So you'll be able to get access to this separate exclusive Facebook group. We're going to go live for about 60 minutes. So you can throw your questions in the Facebook chat, in the Facebook group as well. I can answer them when we go live. You can ask them when you're on live. If you can't watch it live, you've got 48 hours that the replay will be available for. So excited to bring this to you guys. So please feel free to share with someone that you know would really benefit from this. We're going to talk all about why we might still be feeling like crap, what optimal levels are, and some diet and lifestyle strategies for supporting healthy hormones. Because when you nourish and understand your hormones, you can have the life, the career, the family, the friendships that you desire. Like, hormones impact everything. So happy Wellness Wednesday, guys. So see you at 7:30 on the webinar if you're going to join me next Wellness Wednesday in place of our 5:30 on here. Lots of love. Stay safe.